Hey guys, and welcome to Level Up Talk with Wilson. Solomon, man, you are on top of it every time. What is the deal, man? Like, it just sits there and anticipates it. It is awesome to be back here hanging out with you guys, being loud and obnoxious. As you know, that's all that Wilson does. It's like his whole shtick thing. I don't know. But it's awesome to have you guys here. Just an awesome reminder for you guys, Walk to Mordor. Today's the last day to sign up to be a hero for these awesome crew, our nerdy crew that are here. And so we're looking for 50 heroes. Currently, we're looking at almost 20 people have signed up. So, woo! We're getting bigger than we have in the past. But we're looking to raise $10,000 to support this ministry and what we are doing. And it's a really cool way to be a direct hero for peeps that are suffering through isolation, depression, anxiety. Like, we have an awesome opportunity to be able to hang out with people in a space where people kind of try to close off, try not to do so much. And there's been cool stories that come out of that, great conversations, great God moments. And so if you want to invest in a ministry that does that kind of stuff, hi, yo, that's what we do. But also consider being a partner in that, being a direct hero that's involved, that's invested, because you taking a few steps, you raising some funds, can legitimately help someone who needs that support. And so, yep, that's my pitch. Sorry, that's all you're gonna hear now. That's it, because I want to throw something at you so cool. All right, so like, I have another guest. I love having guests, guys. I hope you've been enjoying the guests that we've been throwing down each month. But this one's really personal, okay? So this person, GoldWing, you can totally check them out on Instagram at GoldWing _ XX. I believe I'm saying that right. I might get corrected later. So far, sounding good. Check them out. She's got amazing artwork, and she is a fantastic human being. Her actual live name is Delyn. She's super cool as the name is Delyn is, okay? Be jealous. You should want to have a name like Delyn. But she's mad skills at art. She's even done some cosplay design and ideas. She's also a big fan of League of Legends Arcane. I'm just saying. So she's good people, I'm saying. I met her at camp. Actually, she was one of the students that was working under my wife, who was working at Camp Minneoe as well. Just had some really awesome opportunities for growth, conversation, really passionate about Jesus, taking it up to the level. And what I love about Delyn even more is that she's very much our kind of vibe. We kind of do things differently than most people would. And that's the cool thing, is being able to hear her story and how she connects with Jesus in that, how she does that with her art, and just processing life. And so, again, I'm going to hype it up. You should be checking out her gear here. So this is the spot. You can see GoldWing _ XX. Don't miss out on this, okay? There's some awesome stuff. And she's going to be talking more about that and sharing her story. I'm not doing enough justice. I'm just saying. But legit. Oh, okay, guys. I'm like, okay, I need to calm down. But now I introduce you to the great Delyn. Hey! Ah! Oh, wait, hold on. I got it. There we go. Okay, now they can hear you. Okay, we're good.
Man, I love it. No worries. Yeah,
man.
good. Thanks for that intro. That was so sweet.
Yo, this is what we're here for. Like, nerds being able to connect, do amazing things, and share that together. Like, we're a giant community, right? And that's where it's at, and that's the heart of even what we try and do with Graphic Word, that we're just a massive community of nerds, but we're doing something about it. We're intentional. And Delyn, that's really you. Like, you're intentional on how you're investing and conveying stuff in your art and allowing that to even pull stuff. Like, I've had some amazing moments checking out your art, and it just hits me like, holy shoot. Like, comic book is the one comic guy that you showed, like, I think it was like just last year, and it was like one of his pieces. Oh my gosh, like I felt it staring deep, And I'm just like, I could literally look at this eye all day, and my boss would smack me silly. But like, it just, I just like, yo, like, what is she thinking, or what is she seeing in me? That's like creating that draw and that pull, and just so okay, I need to stop talking. I need to let you share a bit about you. Yes. So like, what got you into art? What got you into the style art that you even do?
Gosh, yeah. That's honestly, it was probably, I think it's like 2 years ago now. I don't know. The years kind of all blur together with COVID, unfortunately. But I was at an art gallery and just decided I wanted to dabble in some paint. So I just like bought a miniature set and took it home, stared at it for a while. I was like, meh, like maybe I'll try it out, maybe I won't. And then I had like one night at 2 or 3 a.m. I just couldn't sleep. So I dug out that art kit and I just made like this little 4x6 palette. And it was just a gradient of white to black. So I just work in white, gray, black, and then I also added in some gold.
Ooh.
But I just started out with like that really little piece, and I ended up gifting it to a dear friend of mine, just because she's also an artist. And yeah, I think it was like for her birthday, and she just really fell in love with it.
Wow.
A few months down the road, she's like, "Hey, like, can we have a discussion about this piece? Like, this piece is really speaking to me." And it's like she kind of we were discussing it, and we both kind of said like, this is what sanctification kind of looks like. It's
Ooh.
like we are transitioning in life and we're becoming more like Christ. But yeah, so nothing's ever fully black and white here, but there's always Christ present, and so as Christians walking towards him, as he changes us. That's what she got from the gradient that I made at 2, 3 a.m. So she ended up commissioning a big one. That was, I think, on a 30 by 40 canvas, and she was my first ever commission.
Whoa.
And then from there, I was like, okay, so painting, I like it. What's possible here? Yeah, and I just kind of dabbled from there.
Oh, I love that. Like, so first of all, you even going painting? I like it. You know, like getting a vibe out there and working out on something that is simply just you processing, right? Like it's you working out something, and someone sees that and goes, "Holy snap!" Like drawing that deeper principle behind it. Art legitimately has that wonderful capacity, right? Like few things out there kind of has that thing that can mean different things, but yet all can be impactful at one point. And that's so cool. That's awesome. So I want to ask clarifyingly, why GoldWing? Why GoldWing for the title?
GoldWing?
Yeah. Why GoldWing? I know I gotta ask the easy questions, you know.
Hey, you would think that's an easy question. GoldWing. The reason I chose that name is actually kind of a secret. Sorry. Yeah. Like maybe I'll let people know down the road why I chose that one.
Very cool.
I felt like it was important to create kind of like an artistic title that I could collect my artworks under, just because sometimes the artist can get in the way of their art a little bit, in the way of the experience. Like, oh, this is a GoldWing piece, and it's like that's not what I want for people. Like, I want them to see what I make, create space for them to respond to it however they want to. Like, my obligation is the creation of the piece. It's their obligation to interpret it. And so I feel like if Delyn or GoldWing is like the focus or like in the back of their mind as they're viewing a piece, then I'm like, that's not really what I want for them.
Wow.
I want them to have a space to get to know, hey, this is how I'm responding to this piece. This is something that I didn't realize was in me, but this piece brings out for me. And share their experience. Yeah.
Dang. Now I'm curious. Okay, now like I'm like,
Okay.
because you already shared one awesome story to one of your pieces and your start off piece, right? Like the thing
Yeah.
that started this all. If you don't mind, we don't have to disclose any names by any means or stuff like that. But like,
Sure.
what other kind of stories have you had from people observing your piece, like kind of stuff that's drawn out from that, or when they've seen that, or when they've bought one of your pieces? Has there been any
Uh,
stories?
I don't think there was that sort of level of discussion around one of my pieces since, only because like I haven't necessarily had anybody reach out to me through social media and say this is what this piece is speaking to me. Like they've just kind of
Mm-hmm.
experienced it and stayed anonymous.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I did participate in a call to art at a local gallery.
Oh, cool.
And so I submitted three pieces. The eyes was one of the pieces.
Here, I'm gonna try and find one for you.
Um, and then I also had one that's called Gray Matters. That one actually did sell. And then I also, what was my third for that?
Oh, here. Just
I
for everyone to
just
see,
the
this
heart
is
in
the
the
piece Sanctification that
yes,
was brought up.
yeah,
Beautiful. Oh my
that's in her
goodness.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it. Oh,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh man, that's so cool. But yeah, sorry, I'll let you keep on
yeah.
talking. I'm
No worries. No, actually, that's perfect because so that gradient took me 7 attempts to do.
7 attempts.
7 attempts to
Wow.
get that piece there. And it looks simple, but with acrylics, because they have such a fast drying time
Yeah.
and you're trying to get a blend, it like, man, I had one canvas I started out on and I was still learning about my paints and just like the chemistry and such. Uh, and I guess like there was too much humidity going on in the
Oh
place that I was painting.
no.
So as I was applying the paint, it was like not really properly adhering to the canvas. And I was like, that's really strange. And I went to remove my masking tape and all of the paint lifted.
Oh.
And I was like, I need to figure out what happened there because I was not expecting that result.
Oh man.
Um, and so I had like this botched canvas just kind of chilling in my family room for a while. And I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm going to wait it out. Maybe I can salvage it and do something else with it.
So okay.
And
Wow.
okay.
Oh no. Sorry, you go ahead. I'm so
Okay.
enamored. I could like seriously just like eat popcorn and be like, what? Sorry. I'm calming
Um,
down.
and so that botched canvas became my piece, the nth attempt, which is on my Instagram. And I basically just did like this wild abstraction over top of it and kind of kept it for my own collection as a reminder of like, don't throw stuff away. Like it didn't work out for what I initially intended it to be, and that's fine. And it just needed some time to process, and I just needed some time to sit with it and kind of like give myself the grace and the freedom to just play it around and make it into something else. And it ended up being one of my favorite pieces. It's sitting right here. I see it every day. So, yeah, the nth attempt.
Yo, girl, like, holy snap! Like, there's so much teachable. Like, you're pulling it out. So this is where I would have the difficulty as an artist. That, like, legitimately, I'd be like, yes, yeah, no, and, like, I'd probably like
Yeah,
be in a corner crying a lot, and Sarah would have to be like, it's okay. I'd be like, I can't think
right,
about things anymore.
right.
But
Yeah,
but it teaches you things. Like it's
yeah,
amazing how a piece of canvas, a piece of work of art that you are developing, that you are pouring into, really gives you that opportunity to like kind of have feedback into yourself. And
yeah.
oh, like man, just hearing that story alone, I'm like, yo, you just need to like do like a teaching series on what the heck patience is, because like you get it way better than I do at that stage, because that's details, right? Like just as you
Mhm.
said, trying to get the gradients on this and smooth transitioning for it is, it's phenomenal, but it's phenomenally hard. And
Yeah,
oh,
not
that's
as simple as I thought it would be.
no, but it's beautiful because of that, and
Yeah,
because of that work, and you appreciate that, and I guarantee you, the person that you sold this piece to that has it on display is that constant reminder. And it's not just even the idea of sanctification, of that progress and working on that. Now it's realizing that labor of love in that and putting yourself into that. Like that
yeah,
to me speaks way more into any form of art. Like
Hmm.
it's what's that effort being put in? What's the story behind that person and the art? It's not just the art being amazing. It's about that person too. And I just
Yeah,
like I'm amped. And we're not even in depth even further yet. Oh my goodness.
yeah,
Settle down,
yeah.
Mike. Settle
And
down.
you actually just reminded me of a story because I realized that that same woman, so like she's a best friend of mine, and her little daughter saw a few other pieces I made, and so now they own those pieces too, and that's also a cute story. But I want to also respect your time.
Oh, heart wreckage. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, so here, guys, this was the piece that, oh my goodness, right here.
Yeah,
Oh, oh my goodness. Yeah, I still every once in a while double check on this piece. It's just like
it's
it's
if I may,
oh yo,
it's
enough
right
of this.
here.
Oh, look at that, guys.
It's an entirety. Yeah,
So good.
the beholder.
So okay, share the story behind that. If you don't mind sharing the story, like what created that process to do that or anything like that. I'm way too excited. Calming
Um,
down.
yeah, that one in particular, as the name kind of might allude to for some, it's just like the power of beholding others, and the power of beholding yourself. How you see yourself and how you see others really does matter. Um, and so we'll get into this later with my story and the part of my testimony that I'm sharing, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, I just felt like that piece was also it's kind of like an important memory piece, I would say, and an ongoing reflection piece of like you got to be gracious with yourself. Yeah, like how you view yourself and what you think about how you view yourself, it affects you. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a general thought process on that one.
Oh, but like
So,
legit though, like I that's what spoke to me legitimately in looking at it. Just like I could get lost completely in the eyes. The eyebrows draw me in. Like it just
mhm.
it's it's powerful and just in black and white tones, right? And just shifting.
Yep.
I love again the simplicity, but yet the complexity of it all. It sounds so oxymoronic to say it,
Yeah.
but it really is conveying that. And I know every time I look at it, every time I'm just like, yo, I could like keep. I'm in now, like I'm stuck, and like, but it makes you ask those kind of questions, like
Yeah.
as a
Well,
person that's struggled with that, like with the idea of like how do other people perceive what am I like, and like that was
yeah.
definitely me in high school because there was some stuff that was going on at home that was not smooth,
Right.
and being like a pastor's kid, but then like just being a person that was very predominant involved in church, you kind of
Hmm.
wanted to keep that like, yo, like eyes see me, we're good, we're fine, like happy-go-lucky
Right.
Wilson's just nuts. But
Right.
it took someone looking at me, having that depth, and not in judgment to be like, no, there's something different.
Hmm.
And that gaze really challenged me to be like, no, Wilson, you need to stop faking.
Yeah.
You really need to be real. Because God sees that too. If I see that, God
Yeah.
can see that. And He sees you for more than just Wilson being ecstatic and crazy. He sees you as a person that can grow. He can see you, Delyn, as this amazing capacity to share something that draws something from somebody, that creates this message that just end up are floored with, and they didn't even know that they had that message speaking to them until something was right there for them to call it out. And yeah, like that's what this piece, the both sides of it really speak into that, and sitting on that. It just okay, I'm gonna not cry. We're gonna be okay. Wilson's gonna be all right. Just, you know. But
oh, good.
no. So okay, enough Wilson talking. But like legitimately, where is your story? Like, share, if you don't mind sharing your story on that. You shared a bit on how you started on the art piece in art industry. But where's your story? Where's your story in the midst of all of that, and where have you been growing? Because we were doing level up chat. We talk about level up progression, and we've seen the level up progression continuously in your art. That's amazing. Each step is just gets better and better, and is more amazing and more drawing. But where did it all start, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah. So good question. Love that segue. Very good.
Snooze, you know.
Yeah, so historically speaking, this time of my life when I kind of came to Christ and knew him as my own Lord and Savior happened a year after I was actually in Enterprise while you were leading Enterprise. So I met you first, and then I met Sarah the next year in LIT.
Oh, no kidding. Oh yeah, that's right.
So I was kind of like a camper to both of you guys. So that was awesome. Yeah, you're great. I love you guys.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey man, we're focused on you.
So yeah. Yeah, so I just basically in that time of my life, like I was a teenager. I didn't necessarily have this sort of, I guess, like emotional support or just support network, or I just didn't really feel like I connected in anywhere. I was just kind of out and about doing teenage things, kind of growing up, going to school, yada yada, but I didn't really feel plugged in anywhere. And I mean, apart from camp, there wasn't really much interaction with kids my age. Like I did go to church growing up, but it was a really old church, and my brother and I were like some of the only kids there. And so thankfully in Enterprise, I met some people that were already part of a youth group, so they invited me to theirs. And I ended up going to their youth group when I came home from camp. And my first night there, they started out with worship, which I loved. While I do painting, while I write, I also do music, and I'm very drawn to music. And one of the women leading that night, her name was Tina. I found out after the fact, and she was singing. And so right off the get-go, I just remember walking in and just being so mesmerized by her voice, like total songbird.
So cool.
Yeah, like just totally drawn in. And I was like, all right, this is, I don't know. It just right then and there it connected for me, and I'm like, this is my place. I want to see what's up here. She ended up being my small group leader, which was super cool.
Cool.
And even cooler that we connected basically right off the bat. Like it just kind of was this innate sort of connection. I just kind of felt like she saw me, but really saw me. Like saw going like a little further into the timeline as I got to know her. Like she was able to pick up on things in me that nobody else is really seeing or pointing out, and she was able to like see things that were important to me. And yeah, like it was just an immediate feeling of just feeling known by this person, and she kind of just by that merit became the role model that I was looking for and didn't even realize that I was. Yeah, so just really cool. And so I was getting to know her, and there were like just a few moments. So like one of those, uh, the first time that I really was blown away by Christ in her life was I was a florist. That was my first job as a teenager, so I was working all the usual holidays, and Valentine's Day came up, and that was like pretty cool, pretty neat. Like, yeah, there were couples, but then there were also like fathers who'd buy bouquets for their daughters, or like people,
Oh,
friends just buying for each other, or
yeah.
like it was really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like I made some sort of offhand comment in her earshot or something. And I was just like, yeah, like, man, I kind of wish somebody would get me flowers. Like, it's funny that I'm working as a florist and I don't think I'll see any. And
Yeah, yeah.
um and the next meetup at our youth group, she comes over with like this coy smile, and she's clearly hiding something behind her back. And I'm like, like,
Yeah.
you're suspicious. Like, what are you doing? And she pulled out this. It was like a plush flower. It had like a wire in it, so you could like wrap it around things.
Yeah, yeah.
And it had this little note in it, and she was just like writing another, again, one of my outlets, one of my kind of love languages. She just wrote this little note attached, and she was just in essence saying like, these are the things that I really value about you, that I really cherish in you, and that I kind of hope you continue to foster. And it was just kind of like, it just took me off guard, because I'm like, wow, for someone to really invest the time to say those things, and like it was just an offhand comment, but for her it was like, no, I can do something about that, and she did.
Oh
Like,
my
okay,
god.
that's
Oh,
cool.
oh my
So
gosh.
that was like, that was one moment. And then the second one that came along is, I was actually very shy of my singing voice at the time that I joined that youth group. Um, it was like kind of a no-go zone, because I was in a school choir, and I ended up getting a solo at one point, and I botched the solo in front of my whole school.
Ooh, ooh,
Mama, yeah, like, not
ooh.
great.
Oh
Um,
no.
so ever since then, I kind of was like, singing, you're gonna hear me? No, but I still
Oh.
loved music. And so slowly over time, like as I was with the youth group, I started to join worship and sing a little bit more. And again, Tina must have been in earshot, because she came over and said, "Hey, can you join our team?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah,
I said
Tina.
no. I said no. I said no like a few times, and she was persistent. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll think about it. But I only said, I think I'll think about it, because she actually offered to sing with me. She said, "You're nervous? Like, okay, that makes sense, but you'll have me to sing with, and like, you and I are good, and we can partner together, and you know, we can get you ready." So
Oh, oh.
that was another point. And it's like, with the flower, for somebody who's kind of like struggling with their self-esteem and self-confidence, it's like, yeah, you have inherent worth, like, regardless of who
Mm,
you are. You have
mm-hmm.
inherent worth. And then with the singing, it was kind of like, you're in a place where you don't really feel like you're articulating yourself well, and you don't really feel like you can be understood, but I hear you, and you have a voice. And it was, we also, later on down the line, after 13 years of having time to think about it, it's like, call to service as well. Like, the Lord gives us the gifts that we have for a reason, and that's very much intentional, and it's also a call to serve. So yeah, so those were my two moments, for sure, that most stick out in my mind when I think about
Oh,
her.
oh my goodness.
Um,
Yeah,
quality
100%.
leadership. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh man.
yeah.
Yo,
Um,
I'm getting goosebumps. Like legit. Like that is. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, sorry, Wilson. It's gonna stop. Okay, sorry. I'm listening.
yeah. Um, So one of the things that I didn't mention, but also kind of I was aware of from the time I met Tina was that she had cancer. Um, so when I first saw her on stage, she liked to deck out in like a really beautiful gray woven beret, and then like sometimes she'd clip a bow or something like really pretty.
Oh.
And yeah, she was open like about her diagnosis, like everybody knew, but it just like did not dim her light, and it didn't
Mm.
dim how involved she was and how excited she was about us, and like she just had so much spunk and yeah, was well loved by everyone. And I'd been at the youth group probably about 6 months, and we had a youth gathering coming up. That it was like my first youth group going somewhere, like I think it was like a camping trip or something, and I was super excited about it because I'm like I have this small group that I really love, and it's like a girls get together, and I'm hanging out with my role model, and I like it's good vibes. It's like it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, but like unfortunately around that time her health started taking a turn,
Oh.
and like I'd really seen uh like in the two instances I said, like those really touched my heart and made me think like who are you looking at when you're considering others, because it's like it's not she loves the person in front of her, but there's just like this drive there that was otherworldly, which it was. And um when this camping trip or what have you was coming up, she was, yeah, her health took a bad turn, and the small group of leaders got together beforehand because they really wanted to pray just for how the youth trip would go.
Mm.
And she showed up, and like when she showed up, people were like, you need to go. Like you're not well. And she said, I'm here for my kids, and I'm not going till I'm done praying, and then I will go after. Like I'll take care of myself after that. And but that's what she wanted, and so then that's what she did. um,
Wow.
uh, and like I wasn't present for that moment, but when I heard it, I was like, okay, like something's really going on here. Like she's really looking
Yeah.
like at someone else to support her through what she's going through. Um,
Sorry, just one moment.
yeah, no worries. Oh, the suspense.
So sorry. Had
It's
to deliver a
really
key. That was my bad. This. Oh, worst possible
all
time to
good. All
interrupt.
good.
Okay.
All good. It's all
Focusing in.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. Um, yeah, so the get-together was coming up. I found out that I couldn't go. The
Oh.
timeline gets kind of hazy here. But she actually, I think, she did getting hospitalized, and so I don't know if the youth gathering happened or if it did happen and she was in the hospital at the time. Um, but somewhere in there, she was in the hospital, and it did end up that she did end up passing away, which was devastating, like beyond belief for me. Because I really did feel like I'm finally really connecting with someone, and like it just felt like suspense. Like it just felt
Yeah.
like I wait, what? Like there was a storyline here, and it just
Yeah.
like the path totally fell off, and I didn't know where we were going, and I was starting to like connect with the Lord on my own account and just like talk to him, because it was like, well, Tina is like she's got this drive and this spunk, and like I think she's only able to do that based off of the power that she's like praying for, because yeah,
Yeah.
like she's going through stuff. Um, and so I did go through like this pretty dark period following her passing away, where, yeah, like I just didn't know what to do, and it just kind of highlighted areas of my life that like I thought I had myself together in, and it's like no, no, like it all got turned inside out for me.
Wow.
Um,
Oh my goodness.
and it was like my first time where it's like I believe in the Lord, but I got no clue what he's doing, and I feel like he's really robbed me here. Like
Yeah.
I was upset. Like that makes sense with the grief that I was dealing with, and didn't really know how to deal with, to be honest. And so it was like a 3 or 4 month period where I just kind of withdrew into myself. Like I was snappy at people, which I really didn't like. Um, it's it's hard because it's like high school, which I was in at the time, and like I would have people kind of write me off as just a moody teenager. Like they
Oh.
didn't really know that I was going through all this and behind the scenes, and that I'd really just lost someone super important to me.
Yeah.
Um, which like obviously I can look back on now and like forgive for that and
Yeah.
what have you. But there were a few key people who came along, and I'm like, yeah, the Lord isn't just in Tina, he's in other people, and also he's trying to like get me to talk with him again.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause I kind of, when Tina passed away, like sometimes I'd have people kind of give me the okay, yeah, she did, but move on vibe. And I did, and
Oh.
I didn't know how to
Oh.
do that, and I didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, Lord, like if you're like these people, then here's my feelings and get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm done with all of that. Like maybe not. Maybe not for me. And yeah, so like in this 3 or 4 month period of it just kind of being really dark for me, I had like uh one one of my friends in the youth group. This was kind of a wild part. It's like again, I process by writing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and other artistic mediums, but uh when I was first in Tina's small group, I kind of just got like this sense that something was going to go south in the future, like just something was going to go south. I didn't realize that it was going to be her passing away, but I just
Yeah.
remember sitting down and like praying like, Lord, whatever sort of encouragement I need for that future time, whatever sort of like moment I need to reflect back on here while I'm here, that'll give me ground to stand on when that happens. Like, just help me write that down right now.
Yeah.
And so I wrote it down on paper and I threw it like, I don't even know where I put it, but it was on paper somewhere. And Tina had been, she'd passed away, I think it was like a month and a half or 2 months after. And my buddy emailed me and he's like, hey, I have like, I literally, we both still don't understand this, how this happened. But he's just like, yeah, I have like this letter for you, and I'm like, oh, okay. And it was like an electronic version or whatever, and he sent it over to me, or he printed it out, and I read through it. I'm like, this is literally the letter that I wrote to myself
Whoa.
before this all happened.
Whoa.
uh, And so I went and found the original copy, and I'm like, dude, I don't know how you got this. Like, maybe I sent it to you and literally don't remember. I don't know. But the point is, this is like what I need right now.
Oh.
And also, hi, Lord. Thanks for coming back for me. Cause
Wow.
yeah, like in that season, I'm not feeling faithful
Yeah.
to behaving like a Christian or behaving like Christ. Like I'm angry. Um, and yeah, like it was just, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, um, yeah, and so it was just amazing from that point on. Like I realized that we are just human beings, but the Lord's potential to use us and to work through us. Excuse me, work through us. I just like almost choked right
No,
there.
like I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
His ability to work through us is really surprising.
yeah,
Like I think we hear often like the Lord can use us, but it's like, yeah, but do you know?
yeah, yeah.
Do you know? Do you know?
100%. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's like that was the most pivotal point for me and kind of set my trajectory to today. Like I don't know if people would realize like I only knew Tina for 6 months and saw her once a week of those 6 months. Like we as far as knowing people goes, like that's not a whole lot of time together, but we're talking about her exemplifying Christ to me 13 years down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Uh yeah. So, yes, Christ can use us
Heck
in
yes. Wow.
big and mighty and powerful ways and yeah, like I we often pray for things like, hey, I want to be a more patient person. I want to be a more loving person. I want to be a more kind person. I wish I knew how to trust the Lord in this area. Or like we those are amazing things to pray for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm not convinced that if we knew how we would actually end up learning those things and how He would actually end up cultivating those things in our life, would we pray for those negative experiences that fruit actually ends up growing up out of? Mm,
Probably
maybe
not.
not.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Uh, but through that, and again and again and again and again over the years, like the Lord has shown me that suffering is never wasted with Him.
Mm.
It's just not. Like it's just not. Uh, those things are always good things to pray for, to become more like Him, to know Him better. And there can be a lot going on in our lives. Prioritizing prayer is always worth it. I
Yeah.
don't I've over my 13 years and I've filled at least 10 prayer journals now.
Wow.
I've
Girl.
never regretted making prayer a priority.
Oh my
Not
goodness.
one time.
Wow.
Yeah. So that again, it's like the Lord used Tina, He's used a number of other people since then. But yeah, that's
Oh,
that's that's what's going on.
oh my
That's who the
gosh.
Lord is. The Lord is faithful.
Yeah.
He's faithful and He's kind.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
he was kind to sit through that grief with me and unpack it with me. And He was gentle and kind in how He came back for me after I said, mm-mm, like don't want anything to do with you if it means painful stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought it was just kind of like, oh, the Lord's done with me and He's done His piece and now He's gone now.
Yeah.
Like he's taken Tina and He's gone now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, no. He has investment in you.
Yeah.
And He had investment in Tina as well, but it just happened to be Tina's time. That in His providence was when He was taking her out of the picture. The work He had with her was done, even though I had other opinions.
Oh my
So
goodness. Yo, girl.
yeah.
But like that's. I'm still nerding out over this because like holy snap, it's just so good because it really is the picture of how relationship works, right? Relationship with God, right? Like he's miles, like hundreds of miles ahead of anything that we could. And I appreciate what you said there a couple of times. One is the suffering, the idea that if we knew the suffering that we need to go through to get to the progress that we want to reach, is that something we would even really want to pray into?
Yeah.
And that's
Would we
so
check it out?
well, that's so true, right? We talk about patience, right? And like throwing a cheesy line like from Bruce Almighty, like, does God give you patience, or does He present opportunities for patience to be developed in you? Right?
Yeah.
As cheesy as it is, it's like, no, that's kind of his method. Like,
Yeah.
you're asking for this, okay? Then what does that mean to lean on me for that, right? And the very aspect that He met you in that grief, right? Like he didn't just go, oh well, like, come on, Delyn, like, I just clearly she was there, brought us together, that should be enough. It's like, no, the mourning's legit.
Yeah.
And He doesn't call you out for that. He calls you and embraces you,
Hmm.
and how He loves on you. One of my favorite passages, and I've said it on and off throughout our videos in the past, is Psalm 51, verse 17. God does not desire, or God desires a contrite heart. He will not turn down a
Yeah.
broken spirit.
Yes, sir.
Like, he looks for that willingness to just be real
Yeah.
and vulnerable, and a legit turn off from even going toward church, right? Like the aspect you just said it, that, God, if you're anything like these people that say they follow you, where it's just like, yo, move on, or like, okay, like, this has happened, sucks,
Yeah.
okay, like, of course, why would you hang out with God? Why
Yeah.
would you? Like, that's not compassionate, that's not merciful, it's
Yeah.
not love that's unfailing, that's not
Yeah.
faithfulness, that's just, okay, like, scrub off and let's go. And there are moments where God calls us up for that, but not in our brokenness, not in that moment of, like, legitimately going, God, like, what the flip.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's beautiful, because then when that embrace happens, holy snap, like, that, just as you said, it changes everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I can't say any more to add to that other than what you've thrown down. Like, it just, what you've conveyed is something that some people have a hard time grasping, and
Hmm.
really, you can't teach it, you have to live it.
Yeah.
That's the hard truth, and that's where sometimes bringing on, like, oh yeah, like, trusting God, He's there in through thick, it's like, yeah, okay, like, sure, it's like, no, like, He's there. You gotta
Yeah.
step into it. And oh my gosh, okay,
Oh.
I'm calming down here. I'm just like, this is so much hype, this is so good. Okay, so then, if you could offer either a level up challenge out of that experience that you've just shared, and or out of your
Mhm.
art, or even just a level up verse that you have in mind, or passage that people like, just need to sit on and just, like, just sit on with it, what would you share? What would you challenge them with?
Yeah. So I, as I was kind of prepping for today, 2 Corinthians 4, that chapter kind of came to mind. Um, excuse me, because it's talking about how we are jars of clay. Jars of clay were very fragile and mundane objects back historically in Israel, and yet that is the container in which the Lord decided to place His gospel, and um, He decided to indwell us with His Holy Spirit. And so, yeah, like, was Tina an amazing example for me? Yes, she was, and she was very much somebody who I praise the Lord for, and I am able to know the Lord better because of her. That whole experience offered up the opportunity for the Lord to show up in a way that, like, I hadn't experienced before. And I think the jars of clay is really important for us, because it's like, I mean, at this point, she passed away, I think, when she was 21, and I am a number of years older than her now.
Yeah.
Um, And so I'm still living life, and I am still accountable for the life that I lead. And uh, as jars of clay, sometimes we can get wrapped up in our own perceptions of self. So this is kind of where that eyes the beholder painting piece comes in for me, because it's like, am I getting wrapped up in feelings of my own incompetence or lack of enoughness? Am I feeling like a failure? Like, am I navel gazing, and am I waking up at night thinking, oh my gosh, why did I do that one thing? Or
Yeah.
I feel so embarrassed, and how can the Lord use me? And it's like, yeah, but He has selected us as His children. He is aware that we're jars of clay. He is aware that we're going to make mistakes and we're going to feel less than. And His invitation is continually keep looking at Him.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, with the flower, for me, it was a reminder of my inherent value. With the singing with Tina, it was a reminder that, like, the Lord has made me to be a certain way. That's not a mistake, and I should be honoring Him in the way that He made me.
Yeah.
That should be my priority. And it's like, but also as a jar of clay living forward, it's like my responsibility and my priority is to exemplify Him well. And He has purchased my identity despite all the incompetences and the failures, and He's calling me daughter, and He's making me more like Him day by day. And so that's been a continual challenge ever since, is just kind of like asking myself, in what ways am I considering myself a jar of clay right now? Kind of like seeing all the cracks and seeing how I would love for things to be different, and maybe dwelling on some things a little more than others, and maybe ruminating a bit too much. And then that invitation of, who is the Lord and what can He do with me, since He's created me with inherent worth, placed His call on my life, and has bought my identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl. Oh my
Yeah, like,
goodness.
we are made for Him. We are sanctified through Him, and to Him goes all the glory.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, like legit, you need to be like doing this on a Sunday morning and like lay it down for some peeps, because legit, that's the message, right? Like that's the thing that really glorifies God in that. Just like if they're fragile clay jars, right? In the midst of that brokenness and the healing, but it's I'm thinking of Japanese culture. I'm trying to remember what the term is, but
Yes.
they would accent the cracks with gold.
Yes.
And it didn't became like a, oh shoot, we gotta fix this. It's like, no, no, no. Look at what the character has been brought out.
Yeah.
Look at that, and it becomes a focal point. And it's almost, it's like God does that, right? In our brokenness.
Oh, yeah.
And in connecting with Tina in that short period of time, she created such an impact, so to speak, that when it was a hard one, it did leave a crack, but then God could come in and could invest. Like, girl, holy snap. Like, oh.
Yes, sir.
I want to hug people now. Like, dang nabbit. Like, this is where, like, video's not
Yes,
enough.
this is my level up challenge to anybody watching right now. Go and hug someone.
Go and hug someone.
Go and hug someone and tell them what they mean to you. And
absolutely.
If they're a hugger, but
if they're,
like, maybe they
that's
true. Ask first.
I'm gonna randomly like hug a stranger. I love you, Fabio, and they'll be like, I don't know who Fabio is, but
totally.
like,
I hope that's your name, but yeah.
I might get arrested later on. So if you see this face on the TV, that's me. But
definitely ask first. Yeah.
But like legit, that it makes a difference. The small things often are the bigger things, and
they all add up. Yeah,
they do, and it's small transitions, it's small little acts, it's small thoughts that are just like, no, like God sees that.
Yeah.
And God used somebody to speak into that.
Yeah.
Like that we I'm getting choked up. But that's legitimately the heart of what we're supposed to be doing. Right? Like we're obedient because someone was obedient.
Yeah.
They demonstrated Jesus and God to us.
Yes, sir.
And now we have this awesome opportunity and responsibility to go, man, how can I be interactive in that?
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when we are tempted to navel gaze or discard ourselves or to berate ourselves, yes, we do the best we can to remediate. Definitely, but it's also like we're also covered in his grace, and it's like he is helping us to become people who like apologize and make amends and bring relationships back together where possible and where we're aware. And for the times that maybe we've wronged someone or hurt someone, but we weren't even aware.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're not. They don't say anything. It's like there's so many ways in which we're human is basically what I'm trying to say, and where that human element kind of feels like it gets in the way. It's like at the end of the day, praying that the Lord would be first and foremost, and he would help us to live well by him, and acknowledging that sometimes we're going to fail, but he'll still be there.
Dang.
And yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wilson's got it. Okay. Legitimately, I'm like so emotionally hyped, and also like, oh my gosh, I could bawl all day because,
Yeah.
that's the gospel. That's the truth, and that's the amazingness. So, again, oh my gosh, Delyn, thank you again for sharing that, sharing your heart, sharing your art. If you guys want to check this out, so I'm gonna send. If you guys want to check this out, go on Instagram at GoldWing, all lowercase, _XX. Check it out, okay? Throw some hype, some love, lots of hearts, and yo, consider getting an awesome piece of art. Because, like, legit, this kind of stuff will work on you, not just in your thought and just be like, dang, that's awesome art, but it's stuff that's drawing more. It's drawing more, and again, I love this piece here. I got the base violence necessary for change. Like, holy snap, that's a lot of dramatic art, but it's
Do you recognize the line?
No, I don't. I'm sorry, I really don't. Throw it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. So that is the name of the third episode in Arcane, and it's Silco who says it.
Oh, touche. Man.
But it's like it's heartbreaking when he says it, but for me it's a reminder of, like, again, that sometimes suffering is kind of like suffering is inevitable anyways in life. It is. It just is. That's
100%.
just kind of a factor of living and being in a fallen world. But with the Lord, again, like, he doesn't waste that inevitable suffering.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the piece that reminded me about that.
Here, I got to throw this. There we go. That's what I meant to click on it. There you guys go. You guys, oh my gosh. Like, seriously, if you think you got stuff to do, no, you don't have stuff to do. You just need to come on here and check this stuff out. This is amazing. Again, GoldWing _XX. Check it out. It's beautiful. It will keep your attention all day, like get you distracted from work. I'm just gonna say, but it's gonna speak to you, and take the time. If there's something that speaks to you, message Delyn. Like, talk about it. What does it draw from you? What is it? And she has often written pieces along with it too. Take time to engage in it. Take time and hear the story that's going on, because every art piece has a story. Every work of art, just like, guess what? Every person has a story. We're all walking art pieces, still in development and growth. And I appreciate, again, Delyn, the favorite thing that you threw down was that canvas that you're just like, fine, I gotta put it off to the side. I'm so frustrated, but you still used it, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that is so much us. Like, we can feel like such a screw up, just as you said. Like, the amount of grace God has for us. Yo, I'd give up on Mike Wilson like decades ago. Like, that guy is thick, but like, but God didn't. And God didn't give up on you. He hasn't given up on anybody. His heart is that you just call. You just even say. You can even be like, God, I'm so ticked off at you.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even make sense because you just were like, why would he respond if, like, you're so ticked off? Because he just wants honest response.
Yeah.
Because that's the step to then true relationship.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Seriously, guys, come on. What are you doing? You're just sitting here. You're looking like, I know Delyn's amazing. You got to join up on her. Follow her on Instagram. She is part of our awesome Discord community too. What? Yeah, that's right. She's epic like that.
It happened. It happened as of yesterday.
It happened as of yesterday. And you should check out her cosplay too and like get into her character stuff. Like legit, you need to wear that for like Fan Expo. I'm just saying.
I am looking for some friends and peeps to go with. Like I could sneak into one by myself, and I have thought about it, but I kind of would love to go with, other people. So I'm just putting that out there. But
We kind of have a crew that we're trying to get for Fan Expo. I'm just saying,
well then I might have to be there. I might invite myself.
Excellent. Yeah. The plot thickens. No, but okay. So then, final question: can we be praying? What's a prayer request that you have that we can be praying for right now, or even just down the road? What can we be praying for?
Awesome. Love that. Love that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So you will see in the bio of my GoldWing profile, I have another profile that is all of my poetry. Yo. So that is called A Study of Grey.
Yeah.
The title poem is called A Study of Grey, and that basically frames the whole book. The whole book isn't written yet. So what is posted right now is probably just the beginning. I think there's about 40 pieces there.
Yeah, there's a considerable amount. I love it.
There's a considerable amount. So basically with that poetry, some of the pieces are very heavy because they are talking about wrestling through human experience, and all human experience is positive or feels so good at the time. There's a lot of human emotion across the spectrum. And so like it addresses, I think, various topics of being human. Like I'm trying to sell it, but I'm also trying not to give it away. So I'm just going to stop talking. But my prayer request would be that this is a book that is going to show like Christ making the difference in the midst of dark places. And so I am really praying that the whole book comes together and that I would be just like inspired to write in such a way that takes people on that journey, takes people on that saga of seeing how the Lord shows up and following him through dark places. So read A Study of Grey poem, and then you will have the vantage of the whole journey that we will eventually go on, but it's still being written.
Dang.
That was a very long answer.
No,
I'm sorry.
That was good.
Probably could have been a little more concise, but yeah.
Best prayer requests are the ones that give understanding behind it. I would argue, and so we'll pray for that and pray for as culminating that together, working that together to publishing and creating, just working that out.
Yeah.
That God gives clarity, direction, understanding, and that would just come together. It would
create space for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's hit it up. God, I literally can't say enough how blessed how blessed I've been in just being able to be here and hang out with Delyn, being able to see her art, be able to share her art. But even more than that, how Delyn was more than willing to share her story, her testimony, and willingness to share where brokenness can really kind of mess us up. But thank goodness, God, you are in grace. Thank goodness, God, you are there. You look at some of the worst situations that we hit, and you say, you are amazing. You are valued. You still have something that you can give. And so, God, yeah, I just pray that you would continue to be with Delyn and her husband, and thank you for the blessing that they are to each other, and the blessing that Delyn is showing in her art. And I just pray that anyone that sees this, anyone who's watching online or checking this out, God, that they would take the time and they would see Delyn's heart in all of that. That's really pouring out you in the midst of that, and being real in her walk with you, and expression in that. And that would just speak so ridiculously loudly that might even start conversations. That might provide input and encouragement and support. And God, it sounds really, really silly, but I pray that Delyn would be able to be the Tina for some other people, to be able to take that time, whatever time she has with them, and just be able to throw down that investment back that she had, and be thankful for that opportunity and working with you. God, we just pray for this poetry. That is so real. That is so honest. And I thank you that your word is like that too. It is so real and so honest and upfront, and working out things. And I pray that that would come together well, that as she is working that out and processing that and culminating that together, what does that look like in the future? God, that your hand would be guiding her, speaking to her, investing in her. And again, it would just be more testimony to you. Yeah. More testimony to just where God is able to meet in the various shades of gray in the heart and the mind. You see it all. But thank goodness for your sanctification, that we are not just left broken. You work us through. That you are patient with us to the point of completion on the day when you even return, that we can be thankful for that. And yeah, just continue to bless her in that. And we ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, flip nabbit.
This was so awesome. Thank you for... Okay, so little fact. Is the first time that Mike asked me to come on here, I was like, sir, I don't know, like maybe not, like I'm not sure about it. And like he was just so kind and so patient and asked again, and I'm really grateful that you did, because this has been super encouraging for me as like an active remembrance of who the Lord is and has been and continues to be. So thank you.
Again, I barely did anything. It's you honestly sharing where God has impacted you, sharing your art, being willing to share that. Because, like, art is very, very personal, right? It's an expression. It's putting that out there and doing that. And that can be a bit vulnerable, even sharing that and displaying that. But anytime I would look at your art pieces, like, legit, it's just like, people need to be seeing this. People need to be getting in on this, because you just see nothing but Delyn's amazing heart behind it, and great creativity, and working through all this. Like, oh my gosh, I cannot be like, I want to be promoting this all day, every day. Like, guys, stop looking at this graphic word stuff. Focus on Delyn's stuff, like, legit, because it speaks so well of the gospel in a beautiful way that can bring new insight. And I love that about art, is that you think you've seen all the sides of it, but something else can hit you And it's just like, shoot, yeah. And so, again, I'm thankful that I get to have an awesome connection with you, Delyn, as a past camp awesomeness, but as a current artist and sharing that. I love your relationship with your husband too, and seeing the connections you do, like even with rock climbing and stuff like that. Oh man, like legit, he's ripped. Like I'm like, holy snap, John. Okay,
It's pretty great.
He's toit.
Yep. He's pretty great, and he's ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I love that. No, but
I'm gonna tell them that.
I'm gonna tell them
that.
I'm gonna breathe. But yeah. Oh no. Like, so legit, guys. Check out her stuff. Again, I'll throw it here on Discord for your vibes to look at. A Study of Grays, her poetry, beautiful, legit opening stuff. Hit it up. And then for her art, GoldWing _XX. Hit it up. Follow. Check out all of her stuff. Okay, okay, guys, right here. You see, right here. Yeah, go there. Go there. Check it out. But again, thank you for your time, Delyn. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your just honesty and being able to share this and take the time to share your art and share what God's been doing. I hope you guys have been challenged. I hope you guys have been enriched. And again, go hug somebody. Like Delyn said, go hug somebody. But ask first. We have to have the caveat because then it's really awkward. But hug
someone.
Oh, that's tempting. Dang it, my coworker left. I can't do that now. Okay, but
I'll be expecting it tomorrow. It's okay.
I'll tackle my wife. That's what I'll do. She's not gonna like that.
Oh well.
We work with it. Yeah. Anywho, guys, love y'all, and tune in next week for the goodness. Bye.